Hello, this is Stef. Today we're going to see how to dive into the FFmpeg code. So today we're going to see how to work with the debugging of FFmpeg. Now this time we have all the flags ready. This video can be followed either if you have Windows or if you have Linux. More or less the things are identical. There are some minor changes, for example the directories, but for the rest everything is more than okay to be followed by both the types of users. I got to say that personally I've always done this thing on Linux and the thing was easier, but now we are the same level. We compiled and we have all the things at the same situation, so we can delve in the code and we run Visual Studio Code. We're going on to see what we can do with the FFmpeg code, just to understand what the thing is doing. So if you didn't do it, please like, share and subscribe and hit the notification bell to get notified about the videos I'll be releasing. Follow also my social media just in case you want to see what I'm doing, and I promise that I want to be more active on the social media, but I promise I will. For the moment, Windows ready, let's get started. Okay, so our question they're going to ask all over this video is to so what does FFmpeg do as soon as you are working with a video, as soon as you are operating with a video? We start with easy things first. We don't get into the details of the codec. This is something that we can do at a second moment. For the moment, we're going to understand how the input and the output in our program is working. So we have first of all our program, our application right here. This is the debug version that has been generated during the compilation with the right flags. So if you want to know how this is being compiled, please refer to the video I'm going to put in the card here. Then as input, we have an image. This image of this lake, and this is a beautiful image. This is the image of the Lake of Resia in Italy. So this is quite wonderful because there is this was a lake. This wasn't a lake. There was a village, and then since they want to build a water current supply system, they decided to get rid of the people, to make them evacuate out of the place, and they submerged everything in water, and there is this steeple there. Okay, so decided to take this image, and we want to make 3 seconds of video. So how shall we do it? We have a loop that is pumping this image all over the way. As an input file, we have a lake. It is going to make a video that is 3 seconds long with a raw video codec, so no need to for any compression. In this case, the frames are as they are, full frame without any resolution, any computation in terms of compression, and it will be put in this MKV file. Okay, so now it's time to get started. We pass from launch.json to FFmpeg.c, and we run as we did the other times also. And what are the first thing that FFmpeg does? First of all, it's the initialization of the dynamic libraries. This case doesn't have anything, and also it's going to register how to go out of the application. So we can start over. Here we have the setting of the virtual buffer for some things. In this case, we don't have any access. It's for the moment, I don't know exactly what it's doing, but it's not important for the inherent video encoding and decoding. Then here it's going to set the log level, let's say. So here it's taking out. Then here it's going to decide the log level. So here you can decide with the -v option or the log level option, if I'm not wrong. The one we used also in the FFmpeg. We can go, in fact, you see here, V and log level. These are the options that if they are there, it's going to decide how verbose will be the output of FFmpeg. And here we're going to check if there is, and if there is, which is the level. So we can go out of this. Then there is the registration of the devices. In this case, we don't have any device here. Config AV device is not set. So we can go out. We also have the network initialization at this point. And then there is the show banner. What is the show banner? Show banner is the first thing that you have in the beginning. Here, if you don't have the option hide banner inside, it will show all the options and the stuff. So here we have the option if there is the hide banner set. So in this case, it's not going to locate anything. So here in this case, it's going to not return because the hide banner, that is the one that sets not to insert the first thing, is not set. So it's going to set the copyright, the configuration, and the version of the libraries. So here, as you can see, as output, we have the copyright, the building flags, and the versions of the libraries that we are using. Okay, so we can go out of here, and now we enter the live thing. We enter what's of our interest. First of all, it's going to parse all the options. So if you go in, you will see that there is, first of all, the splitting on the command line. Then there is the parsing of the global options, so the options that are available for the whole program. Then there's the termination of the, so the finishing of the terminal. And then we have the thing about the opening of the files. So in this case, there should be also, yes, the options. Let's see if we can. No, here from here, not so much. So here in the argv, we have all the options. argc has a value of 10. So if you count in the launch.json, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. In fact, the first parameter is considered the name of the program we are going to execute. And okay, so let's go in the options. And here we have this method, this function that is the parse options, that at a certain point it takes all the options, scan them, and see the, let's say, the meaning. By the minus, it tells the name of the parameter. The other decides the value, and it makes the couple in this way. So here in the, I think it's right here. So here we don't have anything about the codec options, and as options, right here we have, okay, currently is the duration. As you can see, it tells we are in the -t option, and the -t, it tells that this is the duration of so groups, and then the groups of in files. So here nothing is initialized. Here we have all the groups, and here the options. So we have the key that is t equals to 3. Then we have the output URL, that is in this case the file, the name of the file. So it has already taken out all the options. And then we are going to open the file. So this is the input file, and I put the breakpoint and the point because otherwise it will be too confusing. And here I got to say that the format is not set yet. We have, okay, the format option that has a loop equals to 1. It also tells, I think, the meaning. So format options, elements, key, value. No, okay. There's no explanation. Okay. Then if you go in, we see that there is an AV format context. This is a wrapper that takes all the information about the file format. So tells the codec, as you can see, this as it is declared. You see that there is the input format, the output format, so everything that it needs to have for the whole process to be happy ending, let's say. And okay, here it makes an allocation of the whole all the variables, and here we don't have the format yet. We can skip to the important function, that is the initialization of the input. So we can go in, and here we have the AV probe data. So these are the data that are necessary to, let's say, inspect the file and see if there is everything. Later we see also the probe score, etc. And so we can go in again, and so here we don't have anything configured yet. Okay. So then let's get to the core. We have the AV input format, and it tries to take all the data. Now, to guess the format of the file, we are going to make an iteration of all the formats available. So if you go in here and okay, so here in the iteration, it takes a list of all the types of format available, and it's going to iterate them until it finds something that is suitable for your option. So in this case, format 1, it says audible AA, and like this. So I'm going to put a breakpoint here because there is something of interest. Here it says image2. It should be an image2 since it is a file like this. No, it doesn't go in because it makes a comparison. If the format name is the same as image2, it's going to continue. And it goes on and forth like this until it reaches the resolution of the format. So here we got in the demuxer list, we got all the list of all the possible formats that are available. So these are codecs, not formats. Let's see. Yeah, because we have HEVC, H.264. This is the list of decoding elements, let's say. And okay, so it's going to iterate all of them. Until it finds the right one. In this case, so let's go on until, so here when it finds something interesting, let's say. Here we remove the point. Okay, we have a point in which format 1 has what we want. And how did it go out of the circle? So if it is not open and there is no file and okay, no, this is, sorry, this is the continue thing. So if it doesn't get these, and so there are, let's say, extreme situations in which we want to exit, we're going to read the probe. Let's see the probe of this, how much is it? So I'm going to take this and add it to the watch. Is it at the watch? No, here nothing sensational. And okay, now it has a value of score, and the score is a score of 0. Let's see later. What does the score mean? Okay, no MIME type. Here the score is still at 0. So how does it find the format? So let's see all the cases in which the FMT is initialized. I remove this from here. And see. Now the format is essentially null. Okay. So we found out that the format is image2. Let's see here in our local variables, there is something useful. No, sorry, not yet. Again, here we didn't find anything efficient. So we go on and go on. Go on until we find there is something, and in the end it found out that okay, score max is 50. In this case score is again 50. Okay, so I think that the right one to pick up in consideration is this. I'm going to loop again, so re-execute it again, just to see better what I'm doing. Yeah, the work is pretty long. Don't expect to be so exciting at the first sight, but let's see what can we come out with. So let's put the trail. Now it's a bit faster because it's okay, and okay, now let's execute it again. Okay, and we want to keep the point where we were before. What's the condition that keeps everything out of the cycle? And okay, sorry, I went out of the cycle again. Okay, go in, go in, go in, go in, go in, go in. Okay, and we have a score that is bigger than the maximum score that was 0. And first of all, what is this thing about the score? And the score here in avformat.h defined. And so we have this score that is 50 if we match the extension, 75 if we have the file MIME, so the type of multimedia data that we have inside, and 100% is the maximum score. So we detected everything. In this case, we detected at least the extension. So we go back, and how did we get the score? We got it from the read probe. And what does the read probe do? So it tells if a given file has a chance of being parsed as this format. The buffer provided is guaranteed to be AVProbe padding size bytes big, so you don't have to check for that unless you need more. Okay. So we are in AVProbe input format 3, and we have this thing about this. So we have the score should be at the moment 50 because we detected the extension. Then okay, we are in 50 because at the moment we got the extension. Then we are returning the format. Good. And so here this retry, how much it is? AVProbe score max divided by 4. So it's 25. Okay. Then we are going again. Okay, we have the protocol list. So in this case, we don't have the type of codec yet. Here, an important thing is the read header. So it's going to understand by the first bytes that are contained inside the things. There is a probe size that I can't remember. We should look at here, but waste a bit of time. And so we should have 5 megabytes to understand. So we have 5 megabytes of space. It's going to look through the first 5 megabytes to understand which is the type of information you have inside. So let's go in, and in the read header, you should have at a certain point, it's going to understand by the extension what you should have. So strchr lets you get from the path of the file. In fact, as path is the input, where you have the point. So it's going to get the extension. This function takes all the characters that are after the last exemplar, the last instance of the character is set here. So in this case, it's a point, so it's going to get the extension. It's going to see if it needs to split the plane. So if there's I think an alpha channel, like the Y, and here as codec parameters, codec type, it makes video. Okay, it's something visual, so it's going to get something as video. So we're going into the interesting part. Here it's going to iterate through all the types of files. In this case, you can see there's okay, CRI AAX, then row AC3, and so on. It's going to take the one that has a satisfactory probe scope, let's say. And in the end, we have the one that is suited for us. So this is a JPEG type. And Here it's going to set the loss things. For example, if it is a lossless JPEG, it considers it as a JPEG. And so it goes on like this. In this case now, the codec ID is AV codec ID motion JPEG. So now it's going to set all the parameters properly for the reading of all our files. Now it's going to get all the metadata necessary if they are for the format. And I think we can go out for this because it's going to choose which type of software it's going to choose. So now at the moment we know that it needs the JPEG, something that reads the JPEG, and it's going to loop among all the ones that can open JPEG file, which is the most suitable. And the same thing, I guess, it's going to be done for the output. It's going to detect. In this case, it's going to find the right decoder. Okay. And here also, okay, we have all the types of decoder. Let's see here. Okay, if the ID is equal to the ID of the codec that we have here, in this case these are motion JPEG, so here it's going to understand the type of decoder that it needs to have, and then we can go on with the rest and all the configuration of all the parameters necessary later for the management. So in this case we can go out. Okay, little by little it's going to close everything. And here I guess it's going to choose the ones for the again still for the input file, and in fact now it's going to spit in the output all the information regarding the input file. As you can see here in the output we have all the things that we need, so the resolution and everything. And okay, so we are the same thing is done with the input, the output file. So the output file going to choose the right encoder. Good. It is going to initialize the possible complex filters. In this case, we don't have. And now I think it's going to do the same thing with the output. So, so let's see as a file, what does it do? And if we open the file, I guess we put the breakpoint already, and we see which is the format specifier. Okay, it says that it is a video, but we don't have the codec yet. And here, let's see. We have the raw video as a codec. The function is the one that we saw before, so we don't need to come back again. So it's going to iterate until it finds the thing. Okay, we have this function that's called find codec or die. And so this is an encoder, I guess. Yes, because we are going to, this is our output. So it needs an encoder to raw video. And let's see the description. AVID none yet. So let's see if you can go further. yes, it says raw video. It found out which is the video. Okay, and then we choose which type of encoder. In this case, the encoder available here, okay, is the one for raw video. And now we expect the operation of iteration for all the frames in the video to be decoded and encoded. And so now it's going to initialize the whole context for what regards the output stream. Okay. So here, these are other flags to see if the code there is an exact match of the tags that are inside here. It's not the case, but yes, for the MKV we require the bit exact to be put. In this case, this disabled, so we put random numbers to all the tags. So here, this is the real iteration. They're here pumping of the input into the output. So okay. Oh no, sorry. Here it set everything, so we have this line right here. So this is the input. It will do the same thing with the output. And then IST is input stream, I guess, because in fact we have the JPEG image. Okay, to generate an output stream. And I guess that we can go out and it's going to initialize the whole contexts for all the input. So for the input it is already done. For the output it's yet to be done. It's mapping all the type of information that we can have in. And then it's time to exit. And so it's going to correct the start times. So if you got problems with the timestamp, and it's going to sync all the offsets. So in order to start at the same point, to check the filter outputs, and here, okay, the options are parsed. Now, for the number of output files, in this case, it is 1. So, okay, here it's going to find an error that if it didn't find any output files, it will show the guide on how to use the software and then finish. Okay. And here the transcode is the real pumping from the input to the output. And it makes an initialization. It tells into the output to press Q to finish. And in fact, here we go. Okay. So now in this while, if receives the Q, so a keyboard interaction with the Q key, it's going to finish. So it's going to find the interaction and then it's going to close the process. And here we have the transcode step. What does a transcode step do? It's going to take the output stream and the input stream and then take okay, if there are filters, it's going to apply them. It's going to process the input, so to decode it, and then it's going to re-encode it. Okay. Going to print the report. So this is going to print this line essentially. And then it's going to iterate the cycle. So let's get what it does. So neat output returns 1 if there remains streams where more output is wanted, 0 otherwise. Let's see here. Okay, it's 0. Again, okay, there's a, so it's going to iterate all the steps of transcoding. Let me put a breakpoint just to be immediately going there. Okay. So we have the output stream set. Here there are no filters, so we are skipping it. Okay, so we're going to process the input. It's getting the context, it's getting the packet from the input file. Okay, no error, no error. Here, what does it do? Reset E again. So true if last read attempt return E again. So not so explicative. Okay, it's going to process if there is some discontinuity of packet, and now it's going to process the packet. Okay, evaluating the PTSs and so on. Decode video. So I think that now we are entering the live the process. Let's see if we are getting in again. Okay. So the decoder frame is this. Okay, decoding. Okay. I think we can go out. We can pretty much understood what is going on. So we're going out, decode video. Okay. And here now it's iterating the whole process. It's going to decode the frames and put them in the input file. Here everything went as expected, so we're going to exit the program with the expected code. I know that it's a bit of a mess. Maybe the last process isn't so much understandable. Maybe we're going to get a bit more in detail in a further video. So this was a first attempt of full decoding, full debugging, but let's see. Cool. Okay, so now we performed a debug of FFmpeg on Visual Studio Code, and I know that it may have been a bit confusing. So let me know if it worked for you. At least the first part. Try to be. This is usually the part I inspect, and I've inspected in my years of work with the development of usually video decoders. So understanding how the video works, and in order to work on cracking the video, let's say. And I hope you liked it. If you have comments, discussions, you like it or you don't, please. Give a notification, a comment down below. If you didn't do it, please like, share, and subscribe, and hit the notification bell just to get notified about the latest videos I'll be releasing. Follow my social media. Also, I'm trying to be active, even if in this period I try to promise, but nothing yet. Sorry, I've been busy about many things. I'll be notifying you in the future what I'm doing. And for the moment, thank you very much. See you next time with other content regarding multimedia, but also much, much, much more. Ciao, ciao.